another episode of That Happy Hour Show. This is a very special holiday edition of That Happy Hour Show. We're going to be talking about all of our favorite holiday movies, and we welcome you to join in the chat and let us know some of your must-watch holiday movies throughout this holiday season. Let's kick off this holiday weekend right.
Poppin' Off presents That Recap Show.
Joining with me to break down all of the must-watch holiday films on Christmas Eve, it's Jon Rico!
Hey, ho, let's go.
I have ho, yo.
Oh, yeah, yo.
I got DJ Santa, and I got real Santa right here with me.
Look at him.
Santa's getting super drunk tonight.
Oh, I had stuff too, and I didn't get it. Oh, well. I had a Christmas Joker and a Christmas Yoda.
I mean, you want me to end the live? Then we'll start this whole thing over again.
No, what's done is done.
Everyone will just pretend that we haven't seen any, like no one saw anything. We'll just
pretend I was prepared.
We'll just all pretend. I have fucking messages coming up. I am sorry.
Oh my god,
Aaron Menard! Holy crap! What's up?
Messages.
We got special people in our live stream. Thank you so much for joining us on Christmas Eve. The
where are they? I see them.
It's on
Hello.
YouTube. Hello.
Yes. What's up, fool?
So it is in honor of Christmas Eve, and this being, the last live stream that we're gonna do at least before Christmas. I don't know if we're gonna do one next week. We'll think about it.
Well, Christmas is Sunday, so definitely the last one before then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless I can bring this whole set of equipment. I do have to do a bunch of baking tomorrow. No one's from my family's going to be watching. I'm doing a bunch of baking tomorrow that I'm going to bring on Christmas Day so people can enjoy stuff. I don't eat them, but I'm going to make a whole bunch of special stuff. So maybe I'll do a live from the kitchen.
Ooh, fun.
And I'll have you come in, and then you can just like drink and
make fun of you.
Yeah, yell at me for messing stuff up.
Yeah, backseat cook. That's what.
Yeah, I like it.
No.
We'll call it backseat cooking with Rico.
Oh yeah, that's my specialty.
I trust my dispensaries for those, Aaron. But thank you.
We leave that to the pros.
Yeah, the professionals. Why would I do that? Anyway,
pros.
So in honor of it being Thanksgiving.
Oh
wow! In honor of it being Christmas Eve, Rico and I were talking, and we wanted to put together our lists of our top 5 must-watch holiday movies, specials, TV shows, whatever it is. It made the list. This was harder than I thought it was going to be, though.
Yeah. Because,
I mean, we've been going back and forth, and I knew a handful of what I already wanted in advance. But there are so many more that I didn't even think about until I was like looking at other lists
really.
That one was good. I haven't watched that one in a couple years. I should watch that this time. Like, you know what I mean? Like now there's a bunch of stuff that now I want to watch, and I have like 3 days to watch them.
Yeah, it's always too late.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We should have done this a month ago. Where was Bavona asking us to do this kind of stuff a month ago? I blame him.
Yeah, hey, cheers. Happy hour.
Cheers. I tried to make a holiday drink, and it didn't turn out like any. I was trying to make it red. I used Rumplemints for peppermint. And it's
Rumplemints.
100 proof. Have you ever had Rumplemints before?
No. It sounds like, because a rump sounds like something that comes from a butt.
No, it's like Rumpelstiltskin. It's peppermint schnapps, and it's 100 proof.
Ah, yes.
So it'll get you drunk. But if you mix it with Diet Coke, it just like it tastes like a peppermint patty.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
It's delightful, but it's super sugary and 100 proof. So like you're gonna be super hungover the next day if you try it a bunch of times.
Yeah, I have a real thing for like minty flavored stuff. And
dude.
like, remember I've been telling you guys when we play Fortnite. Usually, like I have this weird problem lately where I eat mints just like normal candy. Like I just eat. I have this thing of like, uh, I forgot the name of the company, but like this like wintergreen mints, and I just eat them like, nom, 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 and I'm like, what the? I don't think you're supposed to be eating them like this, but they taste so good while also being minty fresh.
I mean, I could see like just kind of chewing on minty gum all the time, but like just eating normal, just
Yeah.
grabbing a handful, like just like popping
Yes.
mints.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about that, man.
Someone does that with cough drops. Yeah, see those Halls ones. Oh, dude, I can do those Halls cough drops.
Halls cough drops.
I'm a
They're
weird
like
dude,
the
man.
worst cough drops
Never,
ever.
never. I
There
can
are
do them
some.
with Halls.
I can get down if you had said the right. There are some cough drops out there that taste
There are other ones, but
really
I'll do them
good.
with some Halls too.
I think they're Ludens. The Ludens like cherry ones or something. They just
Oh
taste
yeah,
like
I do those as
candy.
well.
They just taste like candy.
Yeah, yeah, those are legit candy for sure.
Aaron says he goes through a bag of 80 cough drops in 3 days.
Only thing in the Halls ones that gives me like that like weird minty after.
Because they have menthol in them.
True. But I don't do that anymore. That was when I was a kid. I just moved on to regular mints.
Because that's better.
I think so.
Got-
Anyway, so what are we here for?
We got Aaron down there doing just eating 80 cough drops in 3 days.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna tell the commission on you.
All right. So do you want to, Rico? Why don't you kick us off this list?
Okay, so what do you think about kind of before we get into the actual 5 on our list? We kick off with a couple honorable mentions.
Okay. You want to do a couple on your list? I'll do a couple on mine.
Sure, we'll go back and forth with a couple each. So I'll start off first. One of my go-tos every year is Home Alone, but I say everyone talks about that on every single Christmas list, so I decided to leave that out of mine this year. So my honorable mention will actually go to Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I actually really love this movie a lot. It's got Tim Curry in one of my favorite roles of his as like the hotel desk guy, and then of course you got Rob Schneider there. It's kind of like his funny sidekick, but it puts Kevin in a whole different situation. Of course, being alone in New York City, he's not exactly home alone at this point. He's just basically stranded in the city all by himself.
Home Alone Lost in New York. That's
true. Yeah, he's just lost in the city. But yeah, it's that same format of Home Alone that worked the first time, except now it's just in a New York setting, and it makes use of that setting very well, especially in the last third of the movie, of course, where they redo the entire setting up the traps and taking out the wet bandits again. I guess at this point they're the sticky bandits. But yeah, I really like this movie. I always thought these movies did a really great job of balancing a really well done story with, of course, the physical hijinks of it and just the performances themselves have always been top notch. So that's kind of my first one on my honorable mentions.
very cool. I mean, for me, I mean, I had Home Alone on my honorable mentions also because, like you said, it's just one of the ones that everybody talks about. So I didn't put it in my list of top 5, but I have that on there. I have actually a newer one on my honorable mentions list. I have 8-Bit Christmas.
I haven't seen that one.
It's Neil Patrick Harris. It came out, I believe it was either last year or the year before. I know it was in there during the pandemic holidays.
HBO Max.
Right. I can't remember if it was 2020 or 2021. Either way. And it's basically about him and his kids talking about video games and how, like, you know, a story of him growing up, and it goes to a flashback and it tells all the story about how he wanted to get his own Nintendo and video game systems and stuff like that. It's a really cool story. I mean, for a newer holiday special or holiday movie as they go, I think it was really good. Does it stand up to, you know, some of the biggest classic ones like Home Alone and Home Alone 2 and stuff like that? I don't know.
Right.
Only time will tell. But it's good. It's definitely worth a watch. I will say that. That's why it made my honorable mentions. So what about you? What's next?
Yeah, there's a lot of those modern day kind of like Christmas comedies, you know, like Office Christmas Party is another one that came out not too long ago that I still haven't gotten around to watching, but I hear a lot of people actually like that one as well. I think they just haven't had their chance to stand the test of time yet because they're still pretty fresh, and I feel like that's kind of maybe that could be just one of these. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, so I can't attest to that.
Yep.
But I've been seeing this on HBO Max a couple times. I've been wanting to check it out, and I think I might do that sometime this weekend. Maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch, especially because it's on HBO Max. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Yours finished.
Oh, I was just saying, especially because it's on HBO Max, so you're not paying like to rent it digitally
Right.
or anything like that. So
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna kind of rattle these three off kind of at once because they all kind of are fit in the same category. Given that they're all superhero based Christmas. They're primarily superhero movies, but they're the ones that you can say are Christmas stories. One especially because it is um primarily they're all set during Christmas, but this one is primarily a Christmas based story because Hawkeye is I'm talking about the Hawkeye series, of course. Hawkeye trying to get back to his family while also taking care of this mission in New York with Kate Bishop. Um, Probably the most Christmas themed out of all three of these ones I'm about to list, but I feel like this is a really great addition, one to the MCU, but also to one the Christmas rotation that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, like ones that we know we're going to come back to every single year and watch it. And I feel like the dynamic between Clint and Kate is really great. The final battle, of course, being oh my gosh, is it Rockefeller?
yeah,
Yeah, at Rockefeller with the tree is fantastic. And I think that's a really well done set piece. Especially when you watch the documentary, the assembled documentary, and see how they had to actually rebuild that whole thing, that whole
yep.
set from scratch was really incredible to watch. And of course, Lucky the pizza dog, like with the little Santa Claus on his hat. That's always who cares? Like that, you don't need anything else than that, right? Uh, so that's like probably the most Christmassy one out of these three. And then of course, Batman Returns is another one I really love. It's set during Christmas, and it's even just I feel like there's the Christmassy aspect of it, which kind of helps give these movies a little bit of their charm. So like we'll bring up my last one a little bit later because that one's probably the least Christmassy, which is Iron Man 3. But I would say Shane Black movies are all set during Christmas, so they all qualify in my opinion. But Batman Returns, in my opinion, like the setting of Christmas helps amplify one the penguin character. I feel like him in that snow setting when he's going to see his parents in the cemetery has a little bit more of a touching feel to it. And by the end of the movie, of course, is a great scene where just Bruce is in the car with Alfred and just like, "Hey, Merry Christmas, Alfred." And like he had to go through all this stuff just to finally get like a nice little Christmas at home with him and Alfred, maybe a little bit like a new cat. So yeah, I actually do come back and watch Batman Returns every few years on Christmas time, and I really love that movie a lot.
Very cool. Very cool. I have to co-sign with you on Hawkeye. I was telling you before we even started the live stream. I've already gone through the series because I think it's a very nice progression of the series to get you into the holiday mood.
Yeah,
Basically, it just moves along, getting closer and closer to Christmas. Because, like you said, the underlying theme is Clint trying to get home for the holidays.
yeah.
So
It's I'll be home for Christmas in Marvel.
exactly. So it's really cool to watch around the holiday. I mean, it's good no matter what, but it's good to watch during the holiday season. The other one on my list for honorable mention is I have The Night Before, and that's Anthony Mackie, Seth Rogen, and
Just to go and live it.
that's it. Yeah,
Yes.
I couldn't remember his name. I've only watched it a couple of times, but it kept coming up in the lists, and I remember enjoying it. Like this is one that I'm definitely going to rewatch probably tomorrow. Because I have a lot of holiday things I have to do. I have to wrap presents. I have to bake. I have to do some stuff. Like we were talking about. So I'm gonna have that on in the background. And then another one on my list is one I definitely didn't watch when it came out. It's Fred Claus.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
It was all right. It came up as a recommendation, like you said. I was on HBO Max and it came up on the holiday recommendations, and I was like, I've never really watched it. Not that I've avoided it, but it was just one of those things where I just never really watched it, so I just threw it on, and I liked it. I mean, it was like it Fred Claus is the brother of Santa Claus,
right?
It just kind of goes through that story.
Aaron's not a fan.
You don't like it?
He's awful. He's
You
awful.
hated
I hated
Fred
it.
Claus?
Oh man, we got a hater in the building.
Look, Aaron, number one, I want your list.
No, we love you.
But number two, this is just honorable mentions. This isn't even on our list yet.
True.
Honorable mentions.
This isn't even every year.
To get all the way off of our back.
These are the ones we get on. We watch when we need like a little variety.
Yeah. Like I said, this is the first time I watched. This is the first year I ever watched Fred Claus.
True.
I just wanted to give it a chance, and I think it was worth a watch.
Is Vince Vaughn also in Deck the Halls, or is that Danny DeVito and somebody else?
That's Danny DeVito and
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I was for some reason I get the I'm thinking of Four Christmases. I think is the other one that he's in. The one with Reese Witherspoon or whatever. Like, there's two Vince Vaughn Christmas movies I'm thinking of that he's in. And I always get confused that he's like those four because they always have the weird same. You know how movies have the same poster logo for
Yeah.
every single one. That's what happens. I get confused with all those four ones because they're always just and another one I get thrown in there is like Christmas with the Cranks because they're all like these weird ones with the same.
And that
assortment
also
of
has
actors.
Tim Allen in it. Yeah.
Yeah, they all have these weird assortment of actors that you can kind of intermingle with each other and get confused. But yeah, I've never seen Fred Claus ever in my life.
I wouldn't put it on the top of a list, but if you're
Yeah.
looking for something to put on in the background, it was not the worst movie I've ever seen. It was worth a watch. That's what I said. That's all I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to get into some picks off of our actual list?
Yes, but I do have one more on.
Oh, yeah, on one. Oh,
I got one more. I got one more, which is the Christmas Chronicles. With, yeah, with Kurt Russell playing Santa Claus. I didn't know what to expect when I watched this. It's a Netflix original. It's got so much charm to it. But I think when you hear Kurt Russell, he's just kind of one of those guys. He's always played like the charming leading actor in these action movies in the 80s and such.
Mm-hmm.
And he still has that same charm in his older years. You saw it with Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Same thing here with him as Santa Claus in the Christmas Chronicles, and the way he feeds off of the kids in this movie is really well done. There's a great musical number in this with him as Santa Claus that I did not see coming, but I end up loving a lot. The elves are a really cool design that aren't your typical elf design. I was really intrigued by them as well. I found it to be a really well done Christmas movie for like a Netflix original. I didn't know what like quality wise what to expect from one of these, but I thought as a sequel, I still haven't seen that yet. But I really loved this one, and I was like again pleasantly surprised by it, and I felt like he was a really great Santa Claus.
Wow, I might have to give. I haven't watched either one of them, so like
yeah, definitely give that one a look. But excuse me. So number 5 on my list here. So going out the first one on the list.
Wait. I have something. Let's clear the cleanse the palate before from honorable mentions to real lists. We'll play this.
Ding, fries it done. Ding, fries it done. Ding, fries it done. Ding, fries it done. I gotta run. I gotta run. I gotta run. I gotta run. I work at Burger King making flameboy Whoppers. I wear paper hats. Would you?
Nice.
I just thought, you know what? We had to cleanse the palate. We had to get something. We had to get something going. Just to, That
was perfect. I let me get a burp out. So okay. So we're going 5 to 1 here. So number 5 on my list, excuse me, is Jingle All the Way here.
Oh, these cookies! I gotta get the recipe from Les. Put that cookie down now.
Yeah. One of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies of all time, let alone just favorite Christmas movies. Yep. But it stars Arnold as kind of like this businessman who doesn't really pay a lot of attention to his kid, and it kind of leads to him wants to go all out and kind of get his son's love back and kind of get this toy he always wanted for him, right? The Turbo Man. And I grew up loving Turbo Man just in general, like the design of the character. And I always remember I was like, I want that figure too. Whenever I saw that thing on screen, I was like, that is really cool. And I always loved the scenes between him and Sinbad in this movie, of course, like the rivalry they could go through, the whole thing in the radio station and all that. And then of course the whole parade thing where they're in the Turbo Man suit.
Yeah.
And the name of the villain that he plays. But oh my gosh, it's such a cheesy movie, and of course I think it's one of the final performances of the late great Phil Hartman. So it's always great to see him. He's also like a scene stealer, and every time he's in the movie. So there's actually a lot of good things in this movie. The Santa Claus fight. Who can forget the Santa Claus fight? Of course. Which this is a classic for me. That I haven't watched in a few years, and I think I need to revisit it maybe this year.
Do you know what it's streaming on?
I don't. I need to figure that out.
You know what we should have? We should have planned ahead is just to have Bavona every once in a while, just pop in and go, you can find that streaming on Netflix, Amazon Prime. Like, just like go, okay, thanks, Bavona.
Apparently it's on Hulu. So I'll have to look for that. Yeah, I'll have to look for that.
Awesome. All right, so that was your number 5. So for me, I was explaining this. this was the hardest part for me, is trying to rank these, because these were all 5 of these are the top of the top. Like I watch all of these every year, type of thing. So I'm just going for it, man. My number 5 pick, but I could arguably move it around in any of the one. Well, maybe not one, but I can move it in up or down 4 spots, depending on how I feel each year. Is the original, The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
You got him!
Charlie, stay where you are. Charlie, would you listen to me? Stay up there.
He's Santa! You killed him!
Did not. And he's not Santa.
Well, he was.
That was perfect comedic timing for that little kid there. Anyway,
Yeah, for real.
He was. When I was
That kid really had his heyday in those years,
I
right?
know.
Like he's in a few movies, and then
he was that. He was in the sequel. He was in Dunstan Checks In, which was like him. Do you remember Dunstan Checks In?
one of my favorites.
I know.
I love that movie. We all
But-
wanted a monkey friend like that.
Exactly. But it was just, I mean, for me, that was a very like classic Christmas movie. Because I mean, I grew up kind of like that. Like my dad and I were kind of the ones that worked together for Christmas. So just kind of like had those kind of experiences. Not that my dad's a bad cook. He's actually a pretty decent cook. But I mean, we just had we've had holiday mishaps over the years, and so I could relate very well with this movie, and I always have since I was a very little kid, and I've watched it every year with my dad. But it's just always been one of my favorite movies. So, like I said, that could be anywhere from 2 to 5 on my list, depending on when you ask me or what other movies are on my list. But Rico, what is number 4 on your list?
Yeah, I really like Santa Claus a lot. I think it's one of the better Tim Allen movies that he's done. I don't really dig the sequels all that much, and I haven't really checked out the new show that's out yet.
Yeah, we were talking about this. I didn't watch the show either. I like the second one. The third one's okay.
I think the first one's just got like a charm to it, and of
Right.
course, it's this really fresh concept that I think just like anything else, when you've seen it, and it doesn't hold that same magic in the following the follow-ups isn't necessarily. So I think that's what the first one always stands out to me whenever I do watch it. But number 4 on my list, just again going back into the superhero stuff that takes place during the Christmas time, which I think adds to his charm, and that would be Shazam.
Say my name.
Really?
No, not my name. No, say the name that I say to turn into this guy.
Yeah, come on. That's obviously one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie, when the entire family becomes the Shazam family. I adore this movie from top to bottom. I just think that this has everything you want from a superhero movie, from its childlike wonder to the adventure to scary villains. You know, that one scene when the monsters take out everybody in that conference room was like, I remember when that happened and I saw it in the theater, I was like, oh, this just took a turn. And you were like wondering if this is just gonna be like a little cheesy, like kind of like kids superhero movie or second, and then all of a sudden it does that, and it was really well done. And so I really, of course, the Billy Batson character, I'm so excited for the sequel. First of all, like Fury of the Gods is gonna be a really good time. But Zachary Levi is perfect as Shazam. Kind of counting off of the Billy Batson character. I forget the name of the kid. But he's very good as well. But yeah, there's just something about it being set in Christmas again. Like I said, it gives you that charm of Christmas that kind of makes you have that feel good nature by the time they get all the villains are defeated. And of course, the fact that this is all kind of set around a story set around foster kids.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of looking for that little bit of hope and sense of and feeling loved and appreciated. And they have these really cool foster parents who in my opinion are like the kind of the heart of the movie a little bit with the way they treat their kids and stuff like that. So I this is one I want to go to every couple years or so to watch on Christmas, because I think it's a really good family movie. And if you love superheroes, why not throw on this one? You know?
I absolutely agree. And I mean, one of the best parts about Shazam is that, you don't just have to watch it during Christmas. You can watch it kind of anytime, because I've thrown on Shazam plenty of times.
Of course. Yeah.
With its streaming. But I mean, it's like any of the movies on this list, though. You can watch any of these movies anytime you want to, but it's a little bit easier when it is like a action movie or a superhero movie or something like that, because then it's like, oh yeah, it's the middle of summer, but yeah, I want to watch Shazam.
Exactly.
But yeah, I really wanted this movie to be good. I remember seeing I think we were talking about it when trailers and stuff were coming out for it. I remember wanting it to be really good, and definitely was happy with it once it actually came out.
Absolutely.
Hello, Martin.
Martin, what's up, bud?
Merry Christmas Eve, Martin.
Nice. What did we be cooking over there in Hawaii for Christmas? Did they do Christmas ham? Christmas spam?
Christmas spam. Give us our Christmas spam recipe, Martin.
Yeah, big spam loaf, you know?
All right.
And also drop your favorite Christmas movies in the comments.
Yeah, definitely. I expect some from Aaron. He's been watching this whole
I know,
time
Aaron.
and judging us for our picks, but not
True.
throwing
Let us
any good ones
judge you.
out there.
Let us
Anyway,
judge you beautiful human.
So this is so tough, man. Number 4 on my list, I'm gonna go with
What?
Sorry, I couldn't control the volume.
Oh God.
Martin said Merry Christmas Eve to you guys as well.
Thank you, Martin. I think I heard you. Okay, I read it. We're good.
So not only is this from one of the earlier seasons of Bob's Burgers, this is one of the first, I think this is the first Christmas special that Bob's Burgers did. But that's always going to be my favorite Christmas song. It's Father Christmas. It's originally done by the Kinks, but there are plenty of bands out there that have, redone it over the years and stuff like that. It's such an out there song. And I can remember, and if my dad was watching, I know he's not right now. I'll show him this later, but he's the one who showed me that. And it was because he recorded it on a cassette tape from when before I was even around. And we just, every time we would decorate for Christmas, he'd put on all of the Christmas cassette tapes that he recorded off the radio and stuff from when he was younger. And this was one of those songs that was always on there. And just from such a young age, I remember, this is not that it's like the greatest Christmas song ever in the entire world. It's just, I just always have remembered it and looked forward to it every Christmas season. So immediately, if you want to suck me into any kind of Christmas special, you put that on or cover that song on, I'm in immediately. But the thing I love about Bob's Burgers, the series in general, is they do holiday episodes so perfectly. All of their Thanksgiving episodes are hilarious, and all of their Christmas episodes are great. But what's great about them, and I've said this in other videos about Christmas specials, is they have the comedic elements and stuff like that, but they have the underlying heart that you need in a holiday movie or a holiday special.
Mhm.
And every Bob's Burgers Christmas has that.
Yeah.
And they do it in their own way. So
It has a lot of heart.
right. It's mostly goofy, but they do such a good job at it in season after season. And there are so many good holiday episodes. I have to show a clip from one other one. It's just the credits, but they gave us another Christmas song that they made up that I think is amazing.
Jingle in the jungle, hope you bring me a bundle. Jingle on my jingle, Santa, bring my favorite thingles. Some mittens for the monkeys, but make sure they're pretty funky. Some leggings for the lion, but remember he's size 9.
Oh, during that, so that was Jingle in the Jungle. One of the holiday specials, not the first one. Gene is trying to get into a call-in radio show to request Jingle in the Jungle. And so the whole episode, you're like, what the hell is this Jingle in the Jungle song that Gene is obsessed with? And you just assume you're never going to hear it. And so they play the full song in the credits. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, so I couldn't even just pick one Christmas Bob's Burgers episode. I had to pick just all of them in general. So that I'm putting them at number 4, but just like I said with the Santa Claus, I can move it anywhere because I was talking to you. I was like, I could sit down and watch all of the holiday Bob's Burgers episodes back to back to back and not get tired of them.
Absolutely.
So we got a little bit of Martin's list. We got Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Jingle All the Way, A Christmas Story, and The Santa Claus. Ooh,
Nice. We share a couple.
that's a solid list right there. And then
There
he
we go.
said, don't hate me, but I'm not really into Die Hard. I don't hate anyone that likes it and includes it on their favorite Christmas list, but it wasn't for me.
Get the out. Totally kidding.
Well, Martin, I mean that there goes our Christmas Eve plans. If you were ever planning on coming over to my house for Christmas Eve, because I watch
the Die Hard marathon.
I know I watch all the Die Hards.
You know how TBS did Christmas Story for 24 hours? That's what Danny does with Die Hard.
For 24 hours.
Oh,
Just John McClane.
So he put
34.
Christmas Story on his list, and that's why it's at the bottom of every Christmas movie I've ever watched, because TBS ruined that movie for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I was a little kid,
overplayed it.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, I put it on lists all the time. But
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Hell
Sensei. That's what
yeah!
I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, Sensei. No, you're forgiven, Martin.
We'll forgive you for the holidays.
You're now Martin, no longer Marty. Go by formal names.
All right. So Rico, what is number 3 on? Hi. What's number 3 on your list?
Yeah. Well, one shout out to friend and streamer Genticle. She's a massive Bob's Burgers fan, so I know she. You putting that on your list. She literally just lives and breathes Bob's Burgers. So I know she would appreciate that pick. But my number 3 pick is very near and dear to my heart for many reasons. It's probably I would easily put it in my top 3 favorite TV shows of all time. And this also features the first appearance of the Joker in this episode. And I'm talking about Batman the Animated Series, Christmas with the Joker.
Jingle bells, Batman smelt, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost the wheel, and the Joker got away.
Yes. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, that is in fact like the origin, I think, of this song. That if you ever grew up singing that version of Jingle Bells instead of the normal Jingle Bells, yeah, it's from that.
100%. I told you that. I was like, I watched the animated series and I do not remember that at all. But I always sang that version.
Yes. So freaking Sensei. So yeah, the Batman the animated series is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It's the second episode of the show to ever be released. Wow. The first one being the Man Bat episode, of course. But of course, the first appearance of the Joker in this series. And it's a great episode where, Joker escapes from this Arkham Asylum. He takes some prominent people of Gotham hostage and basically makes a game show out of it. Like, will Batman save these people on Christmas? And like, it's classic Batman cartoon kind of plot line. But, the way Batman the Animated Series was able to do it was always really compelling. Like, I love this kind of storyline between Batman and Robin. It was like, let's go see if Joker's gonna do his thing, and Robin's kind of definitely like Joker would never do anything on Christmas. Like, even bad guys got to hang out with their families, And he goes, nothing's going on. Will you watch? I think it was White Christmas, like one of these classic movies, or It's a Wonderful Life. And he goes, oh, I've never seen that movie. So it kind of has this really touching story involving Bruce and Christmas and underlying within it. And I actually watch this one every year, and I really love it because, of course, it has that great Jingle Bells Batman Smells song. I always have to watch that just for itself, but it also is. I need to have a little bit of Kevin Conroy in my life right now, of course, with the late great voice actor leaving us recently, and of course, this is the first time we hear Mark Hamill as the legendary Joker performance that he put in over the years as well. So, I think this is a great Christmas pick for anyone if you like Batman or Christmas.
I totally agree, and like I said, I didn't even remember that was from that. This is tough now because now we're in the top 3s. Like,
I gave one of mine.
I know. But you ranked ahead of time. I'm going just.
So I told you to rank ahead of time.
I know.
It's gonna get harder when it's live.
Busy.
But yeah. You hear that, guys?
It's tough. I'm just gonna have to pick it. My number 3 is
tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Santa's coming to town.
Santa! Oh my God! Santa here? I know him.
Number 3, Danny.
I know him. This is another one of those movies that, I've been watching with my dad since I was a little kid, and we've probably bought it, I want to say at least 3 or 4 times, because we'll lose it or it'll get packed. And then when we want to watch it this time of year, we won't have it. So somebody else will have to buy it digitally and stuff like that. So definitely have bought multiple copies of Elf. And it's definitely one that I have to watch every year, no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Right ahead of time, Danny.
See?
Shut up, Martin! You don't even like Die Hard. Talk about my list. Anyway, so I mean, everything in this movie I think is amazing. One of my favorite things about this movie isn't even the movie itself. It's the Netflix series, The Movies That Made Us. They did a behind the scenes on all of that and everything, and they talk about, how this movie almost didn't get made multiple times. In the progression of it, and how they didn't even want Will Ferrell as the lead, and just it almost got shut down multiple times. They almost at the very after they got greenlit, went through everything, had Will Ferrell, had everything, they almost got sued and dropped because their outfits resembled too much of the original stop motion claymation movie type of thing. So
yeah, absolutely.
So there's so many bumps
Hi,
in the
buddy.
road.
Hope you found your dad. There you go, Court. That's for you.
But yeah, and just knowing all of that makes me appreciate the movie even more. How much Jon Favreau and everyone had to go through, and the actual writer of the script himself had to go through to actually make this movie and to fight to keep it. Because even when they made it, the studio wanted to take it over and change it, because that was in the era that Will Ferrell was just starting to become old school and
yeah,
funny.
it was right in the beginning of that.
And so so at first they didn't even want him in the lead, and then because Old School blew up so fast while they were still filming it, they wanted to recut it and make it more of an adult Elf movie and stuff like that, and have adult humor and stuff like that. So Jon Favreau had to fight to keep it more of a kids movie, because he wanted it. Basically, his philosophy was he wanted to make a holiday movie that he could watch with his kids as they grew up, type of thing.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I love that.
So it just, if you haven't seen the series Movies That Made Us, they've done 3 seasons, but they did one on Elf. They did a couple holiday ones, and they did one on Home Alone. They did one on Elf. But the Elf one is fantastic and just makes you appreciate the movie itself that much more. So definitely recommend that.
Very cool. All right, so we're going to number 2 now?
We're going to number 2, Rico.
Oh boy. Okay. So first of all, speaking of, well, first I'll name my number 2 first, and now I'll talk about this. My number 2 is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
What's this? What's this? There's powder everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair.
So, yeah, I guess switch out Elf with the Santa Claus for my 5th favorite. Yeah, easily. I think those are easily to.
They're both on my list, Martin.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're in the top 10, I think you're good, right?
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. That's one of my favorite. And an Elf my wallpaper, my cubicle will work. I love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So The Night Before Christmas is, again, I would probably put in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. A movie I grew up watching, when I come back to, not just for Halloween, but also for Christmas, which I think is another great thing about this movie. Is that
you get a double whammy, yeah.
You get a double whammy with it, right? I would expect The Night Before Christmas to be a number 1. I know, right? Because I love it so much. I have many Funko Pops based on this movie. I have the the infamous Jack and Sally one on the mountaintop, or the hilltop, whatever you want to call it. And then I have those 3 little shits in the bathtub is one of my favorite ones. Yeah, so this is a movie that's very near and dear to my heart. The music is something I'm very fond of. Danny Elfman just absolutely nails it with the soundtrack in this movie. And I think it does a really great job of capturing both the essence of Halloween and Christmas. But I think Christmas is really more at the forefront in here, of course, because I think Jack is trying to get his town to kind of see the benefits of what Christmas is. And the whole 3rd act where he impersonates Santa Claus is really well done. Twitch sings, yep, perfect. Great memories of me singing Jack's Lament on Twitch sings back in the day. Rest in peace, Twitch sings. But oh my gosh, yeah, I just adore this movie to death. The whole thing with like the Santa plot and the kids kidnapping Santa and Sally and Jack saving Santa from the Oogie Boogie Man and all that. I think is really well done. I think the whole song where Jack is kind of realizing what Christmas is kind of supposed to be after he gets shot down by the missiles is I think is a really cool turning point for his character, and I just really love this movie.
I agree with you. I mean, I think it has all the elements of Christmas movie, and just like you said, you can get double whammy with it. You can like it for Halloween. I don't know why I want to keep saying Thanksgiving. You can like it for Halloween, and you can like it for Christmas time. But I think it's just like it's one of those movies that you watch as like a younger kid, and then I feel like you appreciate almost more when you start watching it more as an adult.
100%. It's one of the things that Tim Burton does really well. I feel like is puts adult themes and something that are also very child friendly at the same time. And also the fact that it stood the test of time. You haven't needed a bunch of sequels or whatever you haven't had a bunch of sequels that one watered down the product. And also like having just one just to go back to every single year just makes it again timeless.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, so the last two on my list. This is easier because now I'm down to it. I already know what my number one was. The rest.
Yeah, there you go. Easy pick.
So surprisingly, I mean it's to. I don't think it's to your surprise. I've been talking this up since it got released, but this is a very new one. To make my top 5 is incredible, I guess. But I had to throw it in there, and I didn't know where else to throw it, except for number 2, and it is the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special that just premiered this year. I love it. I don't know what Christmas is, but Christmas time is here. I mean, it also.
I was doing the Groot. I was doing what Groot does in the thing.
Yeah, he goes like this.
He's like the drunk guy at the concert. I loved it.
But I mean, as I've already said with some of the other ones, I mean, it has all of the elements that you need for a classic holiday movie, where it has that underlying heart that really pulls everything together and really makes it something that you want to watch every year. You want to watch it and feel good, like what good holiday movies do for you. They're not. They're not too cheesy. They're not too anything. They're just right. And I think that's what this has. And not only that, I mean, it has a couple really good songs, but especially that one, which has been stuck in my head since the first time I watched it. And now I've just gone back and forth, just playing it over and over again. And anywhere I can fit it in to use it, I am. And that's why I had to throw it on there for there.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm 100% adding this to my rotation every year, and that's why I think it's so high on my list. Is number one, it's brand new, and it really impressed me, like just instantly. Like we were saying with when I had the honorable mention of like 8-Bit Christmas and even the night before and stuff like that. Those are newer holiday specials and holiday movies,
right?
But I don't know if like those ones will stand the test of time, or if they were just. Right. Yeah, this was cool to watch. Maybe I'll watch it in a couple of years or something like that. But I can see myself. I've watched Guardians Holiday Special probably 4 times. I'm definitely going to watch it at least one more time this weekend.
Yeah.
And then I can see myself watching it every year, like for sure. And that's why I think it's so high on my list.
Absolutely. I adored this special a lot. Again, you're putting 2 of the more endearing characters of the Guardians franchise at the forefront of this, and Drax and Mantis, of course. They're the most kind of like pure of heart, I would say. And you put a really good story at the forefront of it with Mantis kind of using her secret and her empath powers to kind of like find a way to bring Peter up from like the dumps in a way, which is again, which is kind of what Chris is all about, right? So bringing that into the Guardians universe was a really well done thing. And of course, James Gunn has a really well. He's just got a way of knowing these characters really well. So any story he writes with them is gonna hit all the right notes, no matter what.
Yeah, and I mean, it does have this amazing heart that I feel like, the other 2 Guardians movies have had already, but it does have this humor that always hits. And, and I mean, we talked about this in our review. Actually, this is a great time to mention this. the review of the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is
I thought
live.
that's what you were leaning into right there.
It just happens. It's just happening. It's just happening.
Just came out today, guys.
Yeah, just came out today. We're a little bit behind, but we think it's just in time for the holidays. And so we put out a review for that. So if you want to go check that out, head over to youtube.com/poppingoffshow. It'll be there. It's the latest video on that list right after this live stream.
Hell yeah.
There's the plug. We did it. We do have one more very special surprise. We'll talk about that after our lists are over, but it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I was trying to remember. Nice.
You want to do
all right?
Number one.
We're going number one.
Which? Has nothing to do with
Hello there.
All right.
Where's Pete? He's the one who loves when you do like multiples of the same button.
Yeah.
Hello there.
There we go. All right. So my number one, I talked about leaving movies that get talked about on everyone's list so much, but I couldn't leave this one off my list because this is actually one that it's not just one that I love, it's one that me and my family love watching together. And that is Ron Howard's classic How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
The Grinch.
I mean, come on. How can you not love this all-time classic performance by Jim Carrey, of course, as the Grinch? If you're on TikTok, you have to be seeing all these TikToks of the Grinch at Universal Studios, which is like the fact that they're all like, that is one of my favorite things to see right now, because the person they hired to do those is like spot on with their impression every single time. Every time I see those videos of people interacting with the Grinch at Universal Studios, the impression is like, it's unbelievable, like on how uncanny some of these impressionists are. But I love this movie so much. It is about someone literally who hates Christmas, just learning to have a bigger heart and learn to love it through the eyes of this little girl, Cindy Lou Who, and she is, oh my gosh, like she's kind of like one and done in this movie. The actress who played her, like I don't remember ever really seeing her in other stuff, but my God, was she perfectly cast in this movie, man. You really can't just talk about this without just talking about Jim Carrey's performance the entire way.
Yeah.
There's so many quotes that I think of all the time. The amount of times I make my dad laugh with like wearing something silly and then doing the ooh, and then like that's it. I'm not going like that. Like it's that whole mood thing that he does. Like we experienced the Grinch Universe last year. He was so good. That's what I'm saying. Like I have awesome. Not all the videos that I see are just like insanely well done. Oh man, and then of course the end of this movie is just like a really big like kind of punch to the heart, of course, because the heart 3 times is big. But oh my gosh, like what movies aren't great from this movie? From the Grinch winning the award and sampling all the food and all that, and just this whole dynamic with the little girl in general, to him stealing Christmas and during that whole scene, like it's all really well done. The narration is so well done in the movie.
Yep.
Everything was done by Anthony Hopkins, which is freaking crazy. This is a guaranteed every single year on Christmas Day we watch this movie, and it's right after we open the presents. We'll open the presents and watch the Grinch. That's just what we do.
Okay, so wait, let me ask you this before, and we're getting a little bit off topic. Do you guys do where you open one present on Christmas Eve?
So I come from a pretty big family. My dad's side of the family, I have like 15 cousins. So what we do is we would usually go to my cousin's house, and then and when we were younger, we would wait until midnight to all open presents that we all got for each other. Oh. And then when I got home, fall asleep, wake up, and then be presents for the rest of the day. Yeah. As we've all gotten older, we kind of like we do the presents earlier if we have them for each other, and then we do one gift on like right before we go to bed, and then do the rest of the night.
Okay. Because so I just recently started doing you do one on Christmas Eve and then you do the rest on Christmas Day. I like it. It's like a preview.
Yeah, it's like an appetizer.
It's an appetizer. But what I was gonna say, going back to your number one pick, I love The Grinch Stole Christmas. you know me, I like the behind the scenes stories and stuff.
Mhm.
You heard all of the stuff about how many hours Jim Carrey had to sit in the chair getting makeup on. He actually
Insane.
had to get somebody who was in he was definitely in the CIA or the FBI or something, where they had to teach him to like just like ignore the process, because he was just like, he felt like, Jim Carrey said in interviews, he felt like he was just being buried underneath makeup every single day. And so like he gave him all of these, I forget what interview it is. If I find it, I'll post it in our group and stuff like that. But just the instructions that the guy was giving him on how to like just get through it and stuff. And
Right.
he said he was using it to like translate into the Grinch, like when he would be getting irritated about it and stuff like that. But I love all of his stories.
Isn't like the hair or something like that, like yak hair? I remember it's the one thing I can't remember was like it was the weird hair that was like on the Grinch hair. Is it yak hair or ox hair or something like that? Yeah, some weird stuff like that. But
All right.
Danny, I want to know what your number one holiday pick is. Well, maybe not. Is it your favorite of all time, or is it your number one pick for our list here? Because
I think it's my number one pick for this list. But like I said,
everything changes, right? Like we never stick with the same thing over and over.
Right. But what I will say is these top 5 are things I'm watching every year, no matter what. Like my top 5 list. So I may add to that list, and then like something might get bumped to 6, but it's still going to always be watched every year. But these are all of the ones that I'm watching every year, no matter what. So, and you know what? I'm going to dedicate my number one pick to hashtag number one fan Martin, because my number one pick is Die Hard.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I told Rico there was a ton of different little clips I could pick from that movie. Like the only real Christmassy pick I guess I could have picked from that movie would be when the bad guy gets sent down in the elevator, tied up, and it says "Ho ho ho! Now I have a machine gun now." Ho ho ho! But I was like, "There's no John McClane in there. We don't get his catchphrase. We don't get anything." I had to go with that.
Yippee-ki-yay, Martin.
But yeah, I mean,
he's honored. He feels honored.
Now, Martin, I want you to watch it for Christmas, please. That would honor me if you would watch it for Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I my dad can attest to this. I have 110%. The combination of my dad and I have bought this movie maybe 5 times.
On multiple platforms.
Yes, on multiple platforms, because it's a must watch on Christmas Eve. And I was telling you, that's my plans. Like I'm doing stuff, you know, I'm wrapping presents, I'm baking. But when I am done with all of that and I'm relaxing, I'm 110% watching this movie.
There you go.
Always, always, always on Christmas. I have the box set of all of them. I have it on Vudu, purchased digitally, and my dad has it purchased somewhere else digitally on like his cable network provider type of thing. So we literally have it everywhere. And there was another physical copy out there somewhere that we just couldn't find. We knew we had it, and we just couldn't find it. But it was important for us to make sure we had it again. So
very good.
That is my number one. Yeah. How do you feel about Die Hard Marathon?
I feel like any marathon is bad for one movie, because as the Christmas Story would attest. Because I feel like I would like a Christmas Story if it didn't marathon it.
Oh, that was my question when you mentioned that. Did you get a chance to watch the sequel to A Christmas Story?
No, I think maybe that's part of the reason I've been put off of watching it, is because I still don't like Christmas Story very much.
I haven't watched it either.
I've heard good things though.
Yeah, so have I. We were talking about this. I have heard that it's worth a watch. It's not bad, and it honors the original.
Yeah,
and it has,
and also that guy
freaking
freaking turned on Tony Stark in Spider-Man: Far From Home. So he was one of the guys. Yeah, he's in the movie, Peter Billingsley, as one of the guys that worked for Tony Stark, and he works for Mysterio.
I knew he was an elf, but I didn't know.
That's Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
Yeah, I knew he was an elf, but I didn't know he was in Spider-Man: No Way.
Far From Home. Yeah, he's in Far From Home. I guess because he plays the guy that Obadiah Stane yells at in Iron Man 1. It's like, Tony Stark built this in a cave. Yeah, they made him like an old disgruntled Stark employee. Look at that, learning shit on the live show right here. Boom.
Wow.
I know that's how they. No, that was a really funny Easter egg because I remember it was like, "That's Ralphie from A Christmas Story," and I'm like, "Wow, he still does stuff, huh?"
All right.
Yeah, I know, right? Right.
I do
Very
not know
good.
that. That's good. So do you want to talk about the gift that we have, the present that we have to tell everybody about?
Let him know, Danny. Let him know.
Oh, wait. Martin said something. Oh, that's Ralphie. He's in Spider-Man.
There you go. See, he knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Bam. So officially, we've been playing around with this idea for a little while, but officially we made it happen this week. You can now enjoy past episodes and soon to be all episodes of that recap show in podcast form, in audio podcast form. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Audible, Amazon Music. I believe we're going to be on Stitcher soon, and iHeart Podcast. We're pretty much everywhere. We're not every single one, but yeah, right now, as of right now, I believe there's 27 episodes up.
All Popping Off show.
Yeah.
Like if you search for it. Yeah.
No. Search for that recap show.
Oh, that recap show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I put us in as that. I put us in as you know.
There you go. Well, you gotta let people know what to search.
Yeah, search that recap show. You'll find us. And yeah, I mean, we're putting up all the old episodes first. The first new episode will be the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Beautiful.
Hey, thanks, Martin.
Thank you, Martin.
But what we've been throwing around the ideas of having specialty episodes and quick things for our different outlets. So like maybe we will down the line do something special video game related for Twitch. And maybe we'll do, video only. And then now that we have this audio only access and we can put up as many as we want, we're already starting to toy with the idea of maybe doing a couple, audio only specials and stuff like that, just so that we can have, instant reactions. We can have, some retro recaps and really cool stuff like that, but that we might be able to get out a lot quicker if it's only audio. So
yeah, for sure.
So keep posted obviously to all of our social medias like normal, but yeah, help us out. Go give us a follow on Spotify, and that's how, because we're using Anchor. I don't know if anyone out there has been paying attention to the ads on Spotify. I don't have Spotify Premium. I have the free version, so I get ads all the time about Anchor, and that's what we're using. It's basically Spotify's podcast platform, and it allows us to host through there, and they make the process really, really simple. It's actually really awesome. So it's allowing us to get things up really, really quick. Like in the past, these other ones that, will host for you and will send it out, your RSS feed to other places. You either had to pay a ton to do unlimited, or you can only do certain, like so many amounts. That's why we've kind of stayed away from it a little bit more in the past. But now that we have this access unlimited to throw up as many as we want, sky's the limit on what kind of content we can do and what we can put together. I mean, if people don't have a good camera setup, but we want to get some guests on and we want to hang out and talk to some listeners and some friends, we can do audio only and have some fun with that. But give us a follow on Spotify, because that's how they're going to track the analytics. And once we get to a certain point, they'll let us, start doing some paid reads so that we might be able to do even cooler stuff. If we get a little bit of...
I will put the link to the Spotify link in the chat right now.
Awesome. Thanks, Rico. And we'll post it in our group, and we'll post it in a bunch of other places, and we'll tweet it out and stuff like that. But we just wanted to make the announcement here because we thought it was really cool. I mean, it's the first time we're going to be doing the audio podcast, but for now, it's just going to be transcribing all the old stuff. The newest thing that's going to be up, and that'll be up probably tomorrow, is the Guardians holiday special that we did, and that'll be the audio version of that. It will be up tomorrow too. But yeah, that's exciting.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I remember years ago when I was still producing MMA Junkie, there would be some people that wanted an audio version of Popping Off. And I was like, I can't host that. I can't build a website and pay for that to happen. And now that we have it, it's like, I don't remember who was asking for that. But now someone get in touch with Junkie Nation and say, anyone who is requesting an audio version of Popping Off content, it's now available. And
it's there. It's happening.
to
Get
that
through it.
recap show content, and we can have a lot more fun with this. We can do some really fun stuff, and I audio edit for a living, so I'm going to be all about turning those episodes around real quick. So we can do that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot more fun next year. I mean, we're not taking a break for the holidays. We already had our break. We explained that last time. But now that we have this new, outlet, we're gonna have a lot more fun with it next year. So it's gonna be sky's the limit. We're gonna do video content. We're gonna do audio content. We're gonna do maybe some video game content. That's tease. You'll have to wait until the next episode to hear about that tease. Do you have anything else to say? It's Christmas Eve.
Only thing I gotta say is Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into all of our shows this year. And I'm out on a drink, so I will hold up my water bottle.
Finished your drink already? Cheers.
I'm what we call a big gulper, Daddy. I don't take small sips of my shit,
Cheers, everybody out there. Thank you so much for joining in. And just like what Rico said, I just got to second it. Thank you so much for, commenting on not only the live streams, but on our videos and watching everything and letting us know what you really think of it. I mean, we're trying to make them the best we possibly can. So if you see something that works, tell us. If you see something that you don't think works so well, tell us, because we need that, and we really appreciate all the feedback and the views and the likes and the shares and stuff like that. Really appreciate everything. Thank you guys so much for just helping us out. Yeah. Merry Christmas, Martin.
Yeah, of course. All support means a lot. Absolutely.
FX.
Love you, buddy. Having this outlet to talk about stuff that I love to talk about, movies and TV shows, and of course Marvel, Star Wars, DC, all that is really cool. And having you guys there for your support is really cool as well. So I appreciate all you guys for that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. And just like Rico said, there's not really much else to say except for Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We hope that you and all of your families have a great holiday weekend, holiday week, and I mean, who knows? We may be back for another special before the year is over, but just in case we're not, Happy New Year, everybody. Bye, everybody!
Poppin' Off presents That Recap Show.